Welcome back, girls, and everybody else out there in podcast land.
Hello.
How was everybody's day?
I'm good.
You're good. Wow. That was so,
Leah here.
That was so sullen.
I know.
I ended last week pretty sullen too, I have to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's an okay day. Corinne turned it around for me.
Did
I had to drop off my car, so I'm carless. I'm
Again.
homeless.
I was like, when did I do that?
So Corinne was like my knight in shining armor, and she's like, "I'll pick you up for work."
Oh,
And then she got me Starbucks.
wow. Okay, work
So
wives.
now I'm feeling better.
Work wives.
But my morning started out a little
Yeah, but it's fine now.
It's fine. I'm good.
It'll all come together.
I'm good.
We're here.
Yeah.
Everyone's having one of those days, I guess. We are short one, Cassidy.
No Cassidy today.
No Cassidy, but that's okay. The show must go on.
Yeah.
And next
She'll
week,
be back.
She'll be back next week, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully she feels better.
Yeah, hopefully they're not throwing their brains up over there.
Oh God.
That's
I would
disgusting.
rather be doing anything but that.
Anything. Literally anything.
So
The
we were
stomach
like,
flu
please.
is the worst.
Yeah,
the best.
stay home.
I almost said it's literally the worst.
It's the worst. My
Yeah.
mom had it last week too. It's going around right now. So
What?
if either of you fuckers get it,
no.
stay away.
It's from people that work with little kids.
I know, it's always
Yeah.
children.
Does your mom work
My
with
mom's
little-
a teacher.
Yeah, see? She works with little kids.
No,
Because they
I
like
can't do a stomach
things
bug.
and no. As soon as
See?
they start school, it's
don't
the end.
come in if
It's
you
the
got a
beginning of
stomach
the
bug
end.
over
It
there.
is.
No, my kids aren't in school yet, right? No, they're too little. Well, I know the one is. Missy's like, it's 3 months, gotta go. Get into kindergarten.
When do kids go to school? Like what age?
5. Well, 5 is like kindergarten.
What is that?
And then you can go to preschool before that, but
Yeah.
you know,
I was in a
whatever.
weird preschool, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have this great idea today.
Oh.
We should, in like honor of the podcast, which everyone will find out later, we should talk about or say nice things to each other. Because I had this amazing thing happen this week, or this past week. I went into Kohl's and I went up to the register, rung everything out, and then the lady like called me back and Paul's like, I think she's talking to you. And then I go back to the register, I kind of like leaned in and I was like, oh, I'm like, you know, like what? Like, what could you, like, what do you need?
What do you need
and the
from
lady's
me?
like, I just want to tell you that you're absolutely stunning.
Okay.
And first of all, stunning, that's a hell of a compliment. Like, I
Yeah.
swear to God.
That's
Funny
a big
part,
word.
yeah, very big, like beautiful, pretty, totally get it. I love your shirt, I love your dress, like that, like we hear.
Yep.
But like stunning, I was like, wow. And I was having such a shitty day that I was like, wow. I'm like, that really like, she made me smile like from ear to ear. Like it was amazing. And I was just like, wow, that felt like so good. Because again, like just having a shitty day and to like turn it around. Funny part though, I was walking back to the car and me and Gianna were talking about it. And I was like, that was so sweet of her. And
Yeah.
Gianna was like, yeah, that really was nice. And then I said to Paul, I go, wasn't that really nice of her? And he goes, what'd she say?
Men, I hate them.
Doesn't notice a thing.
Pay
I was like, she
attention.
said I was stunning. And he's like, oh, did she? I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
We're done. Get in. Actually, you know what? Get a fucking Uber. Take
Yeah.
yourself home.
Yeah.
Not
Fine.
allowed in the stunning
You're not
vehicle.
getting in my car. Exactly. You can't hang out with the stunning people. So I was thinking, like, as our thing this week, we can go around and say, like, one thing about each other that we, like, really like.
Okay. Can I
So.
preface by saying I'm horrible at receiving compliments?
That's all right. We'll just.
Okay,
we'll
just sit
I'm
We'll
also
just blush really
horrible
hard. She'll be, like, bright red.
I'd be like, please no. Please
Literally.
stop.
So who wants to start then? Gia, you start. You're good.
Oh God.
should
I'm
I start with?
scared.
It doesn't matter.
I'll start with Corinne so that Leah can prep herself.
Oh, okay.
I'll never be
Okay, so honestly,
She had to really think about it.
at me for like a
give you an up and down.
got it.
well, okay, so I was looking at Corinne's Instagram the other day, and the other day you asked me, you're like, what does face card mean?
Face card?
Yes, like you've like face card never declines.
Oh, yes.
Like
okay,
your
yeah.
face is like you just have a good face. Like you have
Yeah.
amazing skin.
She's right.
Your face is symmetrical, proportional. You have a good nose, good lips,
God.
eyelashes, eyebrows, everything.
Well, the lashes, I gotta give credit to my lash girl.
Well, yeah, but
Shout her out.
Still.
We love her. We love
Natasha
Natasha
from N Beauty Mark. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out Natasha. And then I feel like you're also just like such like a determined woman.
Thanks.
Like the determination you have is nuts.
Wow.
Like you have drive.
Wow.
And that's crazy.
That's really nice to hear. I
You're
like
welcome.
that. I like that.
I'm glad. Leah.
Oh God.
Oh God, I can't wait.
She has another face card that doesn't decline. Like you just have
I
this.
agree.
Thank you.
But honestly, this is gonna be so strange. for physical wise, I feel like you have great skin tone.
She does.
Like, whatever skin tone you have going on, a little olivey, you never look pale.
No,
Really?
never.
No, and I feel like you don't fake tan, but I feel like you'll go in a tanning booth, but I feel like you haven't done that in a while.
That was strictly for the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you just
it's
have
like
great...
you don't even have to.
No,
It's
she
really
just has great
ridiculous.
tone. You always look alive.
Really?
Even when you feel dead.
Yeah, I feel like
She's like bronzy.
She is bronzy.
Yeah, you're not like olive,
She's,
but
like,
you're not
glowing
like
from the
yeah.
inside
It's,
out.
you're like bronzy. It's very good.
amazing.
You do have good great skin.
And then I feel like personality-wise, you're just sharp. Like, you're just like, I feel like she's just sharp. You know? Like, you're just like,
What'd you say?
like a tack.
yeah. But she's one of those, like, cat-shaped tacks.
Yeah, I have those.
I know. Anyways.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you're just sharp. Like, I feel like you're just like,
you.
you're on the ball. You know?
Thanks.
Like, I feel like you can't pull one over on Leah.
She gave us 2 each. That was pretty,
know, what the fuck?
Well,
Well,
she
'cause
really messed me up with that one.
Like, you don't have to do 2 each, but I figured it'd be, you know what I mean? I would do a
Yeah.
little
No,
this,
you're
do a little
just
that.
like-
It counts as one. You know
And
what
she
I
did
mean?
really good ones too.
I
That's
know.
hard.
Say.
Here
Do you
we
want me to go or do you want to go?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
But I have to agree with Gia. Like, I was gonna literally say, like, you are my inspiration for majority of things. Like,
Yeah.
in all departments. Your hair is always perfect, by the way. Can I just say that? Like, you are my hair goals, and I've told you this many, many times.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, like, just your kindness in general, like, I don't think you realize, like, how much you actually help me personally, like, in my family out with things. God, here we go. I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
like seriously though, I don't think you realize, and I don't know if I thank you enough. Like, you just do, like, you would literally bend over backwards for everyone.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen it
try.
firsthand so many times.
Aw, thank you.
And
that's really sweet.
Gia. I really love, oh God, don't look at me like that.
So awkward. You're like,
I know. She's like, blink, blink.
I am.
I love your daily humor and actually how outgoing you are in comparison to me, how I'm just like you light up a room every time you walk into one. And yeah, seriously.
took
And
mine,
so
God damn it.
sorry, it's like very visible though.
I know.
Like, you light up a room and you just like always have these like crazy stories, and even if it looks like I there's nothing going on here. I just love it because I just love how like bright and vibrant you are. It's like such a juxtaposition to my personality. So I do really love that about you.
Wow.
And of course, like, you always have like the cutest little hair and everything. Yeah.
Really?
Your hair is always cute.
Thank you.
And I love when you come in and you're like, just got my hair done. And I'm like, I know, you're so blonde.
Wow, I wish that was me right now, but unfortunately
She's a
I
good
can't.
blonde.
She is a good
Thanks.
blonde.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good blonde.
Thanks. I have had red hair before. I've had black hair.
I thought you were naturally blonde. That's how well it fits
Yeah,
her.
wait, you're not?
No, she's brunette.
I know, but like that looks like dirty blonde to me.
I am a dirty blonde. I'm a
Well, it's
super
dark.
I'm a really
Yeah.
dirty, disgusting,
Blonde.
dirty blonde.
She's filthy.
I'm a filthy blonde.
She's filthy.
That's
Yes.
another thing I love about you. I can literally talk about anything. Literally anything, and she's got a story for it.
I
Yeah.
probably will. Thanks, Lee Dog.
Lee dog. I'm
You
done.
don't. So I'll start with Gia. So Gia, since Leah took mine, my other one for you was that I secretly believe that you are a genius. I tell the girls
yeah,
all the
that's-
time. I'm like, I really honestly think that Gia is a genius, but she doesn't realize it.
I don't know.
I do, because like you have so many, like you know so many different things, and I'm like, how does she freaking know that? Like, I'm like, just ask Gia, and if she doesn't know it, you will figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Renaissance
We can literally
woman.
ask you to do anything,
Yeah,
and you're like,
that's
got
why I
it.
was like, you
Got
definitely
it, bro.
should do like law school. I don't even know if honestly, I don't even know if that's good enough. Like, I feel like you, like I feel like you're that person that could have like 90 different degrees
Yeah.
and be like, what am I
She's
gonna
like,
do
I
next? Because you
disagree.
might go into law and be like, I'm bored with this. I'm gonna go get this degree.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the way she is.
It's just school is so much work.
Yeah.
It is.
But I feel like law, you can do anything with it.
I mean, yeah,
don't really know,
you
but
can,
do
but I
what
just feel
inspires
like
you.
I don't know.
Yeah. Should I start studying for the LSAT?
Yes.
I could take it in
Keep saying
August.
We talked about this.
I know.
Do it.
Just take it.
Okay.
You'll pass it.
I never studied for my SAT. How hard can the LSAT be?
I really don't know because I'd probably fail, but I mean,
Whatever.
so that's where I'm going with that. And then, I mean, it's just like other things are like silly things. Like, you know, she knows she's
girl.
really pretty. And
I
stuff
know.
like that.
It's
so like
like-
when we discuss you, it's so funny. Like me and my cousin will talk about you, and she'll be
Jessica.
like, we both are, yeah, because like you know we talk all the time. And I'll be like, she's like, wait, Gia. And I'm like, the pretty one. She's like, oh, right, the pretty one. So now when we discuss Gia, she's like, the pretty one. They don't even know what your name. She's like, I don't even remember her name.
I love it.
She's like, the really pretty one. I'm like, that's Gia.
Yes.
So, that's like a given. But I really honestly believe that you secretly are a freaking genius.
Wow.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Because I really, like you said, I don't really think that.
Yeah, no.
But I don't think I'm a total fool, but.
No, I think you might be.
Oh.
And then Leigha, this one's hard.
Why is it hard?
They're both going to cry over each other, actually.
No, I'm not.
I just can't think of something.
I actually wish that, like, I had, like, your softness. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Because sometimes I can be, like, I can be soft, but not, like, you're very, like, I feel like even if someone's, like, upset, she could very easily calm them down. You're very soothing.
Wow.
Yeah, like she's
healing.
Always like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like you have that like vibe to you where it's like if I'm upset or something, even if I'm like yelling and you're like whatever, like I feel like she's very like you're grounding in a way. I don't know if it's the way she like the way because you're like even when you talk, like remember we talked about this in the beginning of the podcast. I'm like you're so soft spoken.
We have to
that I
raise my
think
microphone.
that comes across as like it's very calming, and I'm very like. I'm not manic by any. You might be a little manic.
Whoa, hold on now.
Wait,
might be.
This went in the wrong direction. That's not a bad thing, though. I feel like sometimes
it's
but,
energizing.
Like I have anxiety and stuff like that, and I feel like sometimes I'll go to the extreme, and then you're like, wait a minute, let's think about this.
Yeah, you should see me at home with Justin. I'm not soft.
Like Leah's not frantic.
I realize that. There's been times where I know you're not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that. But I just feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't think you give yourself enough credit. Like, I think you have beautiful hair. Like, you're like, oh, hair goals. But I don't.
Oh, no.
Like, you have really great hair. You have good skin. She took all my shit, so you both did. This is why it sucks to go last, by the way.
I know. Thank you.
You made me
that
go
actually
first.
was that was refreshing.
Wasn't it?
I like that.
Yeah, that's
we should
sweet.
start every day like that. Like, not even
Yeah.
for the podcast, but like for like ourselves.
Like the calming circle last time, but instead we do a compliment circle.
She did not.
I did not participate, and I held hands, but I did not participate
She
in the
literally
calming.
rolled her eyes. It's in the clip.
Meanwhile,
Love it.
Leah is like our matron of wellness over here.
Yeah, I was just not feeling well.
Well, since Leah's our matron of wellness, we're going to kick it over to Gia, our like queen of social media, Instagram gossip.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what's going on in Instagram world this week, Gia, because I know something happened.
Yes.
With, what is it? Juicy Goddess?
Juicy Body Goddess over in
Juicy
North
Body Goddess.
Carolina.
And the bodybuilders.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us
You
all
gotta
about
be
it.
two something to do something. No, really, that's what she says. When you walk into the store, she goes, you gotta be two something to do something.
Oh.
I
What
love
does
it
that mean?
because...
Break it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Juicy Body Goddess, they are a plus size fashion store. They have like formal wear, prom stuff, and I think they might have regular clothes over there. But it's mostly prom, and they basically went viral on TikTok because, again, they're in North Carolina, so they're like Southern. They're very nice, and like it's like sweet women, you know what I mean? Like, we're nice over here, but it's like when they do like the prom girls, it's literally the woman who I guess owns the store. I don't know her exact name, honestly.
I've seen the posts. Have you seen her posts on Instagram?
I am
Yes.
like living under a rock when it comes. I rely on Gia for social media.
Yeah, I do too sometimes.
I come in with the
We-
tea.
I do send her something sometimes.
Sometimes like the internet overwhelms me, so I detox religiously from it most of the time.
That's why I always have like half things to say because it's like I'll see things and I go, wow, that's happening. And then I go, I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
But
so what exactly happened between
Yes.
did she post a post and they stole it basically
So-
to show like
basically, yes.
Okay.
So what happened was when she has her prom appointments, she usually films them with them. I would assume they like fill out a release or something because she's like it's young girls, it's prom girls. It's high
right, so
school.
these girls are like 17.
Exactly.
Some of them
16,
are 18, but most
16,
of them are like
17, 18,
17, yeah.
Probably around there. And so she posts them. She was like, girl, she's like, don't feel bad about like your lower stomach. She's like, your body loves you so much that
Love
it
it.
like adds a little extra, fat and everything to protect your organs and this and that. She's like, girl, she's like, your body is working
It's
for
true, though.
you.
Yeah.
Like, and you're a growing girl, you're in high school. You deserve to feel beautiful in every single dress
Yeah,
you
agreed.
pick.
That's
and
why we
choose.
have a prom spot too.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And so that's what a majority of her videos are. So then, I don't know their names because I really don't care who they are, but a bunch of veiny bodybuilding men.
Okay.
They have this crazy account, and I think they're like the alpha male type guys, you know what I mean? As an alpha male myself, I wouldn't repost it like this. So they basically did this poll Let me see if I have it exactly. And they wrote, do you agree with her? Video from @JuicyBodyGoddess. Don't forget, if you want to lose weight, you can have my cookbooks and supplements from blah, blah, blah. This guy, Greg Douche, looks like is his name.
Greg Douche?
Well, it's a little bit longer, but I can't read it. So Greg Douche.
We're shortening it to Douche.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So the poll is, yes, love yourself and accept the fat cells. No, love yourself and lose some fact cells. Because he meant to write fat, but he wrote fact instead because he can't spell.
Oh.
So almost 1,900 people responded to the poll. 5% said yes, love yourself and accept the fat. And 95% said no, love yourself and lose some fact. So she reposted that and she goes, please take my video down off your page now. You will not monetize off me. This is me asking you nicely. We can make this pretty. You're sending hundreds of fat-phobic people to my page and you knew that. So basically people are very upset because a lot of his videos apparently recently, or maybe just one of them, he reposted like a teenage girl and then asked if you should be able to love yourself and love your fat, or no, you can love yourself, but you have to lose fat in order to do so,
right.
Is how I interpreted it.
So, okay, I'm not going to go to like a weird place, but I might go to a weird place a little bit. What stops, or I want to know what goes through a grown man's mind where he feels it's okay to repost, even if he's just reposting and taking someone else, a teenage or because honestly, if you're under 18, you're a child. So like what gave him like the idea to be like, this is totally okay for me to like appropriate for me to speak about this
a child's body and their confidence.
Right. Like how does that make him different than like, I'm not going to say it.
So
you're commenting on her body.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, and who, by the way, who's policing the internet? Because Instagram will take you down for saying the F word and writing it in your caps, in your captions. But like, he can repost a teenage girl and talk about her body. No, I'm not into it.
No.
I don't like it.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened. So now a lot of people are rallying behind her and they're like, this is nuts. But a lot of crazy people are on the page and they're like, doing a lot of fat phobic stuff. And obviously on our page, particularly when we've posted prom things too, that's when we've gotten the most hate.
Oh my God, yeah, it's terrible.
On actual, just to paint a picture for everyone, we are actually posting teenage girls too, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like they are
Who
teenagers.
are actually going to prom.
Gianna's the only one that's 18.
Yeah.
But like Mia, Sydney.
Only a year from prom age anyway.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because she just went to, like last year was her prom.
Yeah, and that's where we get the most hate. And so it's just like
they talk about the slits, they talk about their bellies, they talk about their boobs, they talk about so many different things when in actuality all we're doing is advertising the dresses so that other prom girls are like, oh my God, I want to go to that store because they have cute dresses for prom for me and I'm curvy or plus size or mid size or whatever.
So that's the tea on that. Basically just these grown bodybuilding like athletic men,
like basically attacking children though.
Stay in your lane. Don't open your fucking stupid ass mouth. I don't have anything nice to say, especially about children. They're literally children.
Yeah,
literally. And not for nothing, but like I don't know.
What? Say it.
Like bodybuilding. Like I don't know. There's like a lot of shit surrounding them too. Like again, like why are you don't want to be judged for being a bodybuilder. Like what if we went up to a bodybuilder and was like, oh my God, are you on steroids? You must be on steroids. When they did everything all natural. You wouldn't want us to judge you. Why are you coming at us and judging us?
Exactly. And I feel like there's also such a big difference between being a bodybuilder and being a person who works out regularly and healthfully. But also, what can you ask of a 16-year-old girl to go to school full-time, do her homework, maybe have a part-time job, go to the gym, spend time hating on herself? You know what I mean? That's a lot of work.
Yeah, and that age is already so hard. Like, they're already, like...
Exactly.
You have enough bullies in school and everything.
Yeah,
like,
and they're at that age where it's like they're trying to, like you said, like trying to find themselves. They're probably starting to date themselves. And now all of a sudden, well, out of nowhere, these men come in, bodybuilders, whatever, and they're going to hate on them. It's going to put a bad taste in their mouth just for dating, just for men in general. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. And it's
stay in your lane.
And when you're in, like... a bodybuilder like that, that's a totally different lifestyle than just being a teenage girl or like a 20-year-old woman.
They
just
committed their whole lives to working out. You know how often they work out, how many hours in a day, how they track everything that they eat. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just that obsessiveness and just, I don't know, I think it's just very that's going to perpetuate
Also, if you're
through the
not a
rest of their
woman,
lives.
don't speak on how a woman loses weight.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh, yep.
Okay?
Facts.
Because we carry weight differently than fucking men. Okay?
Yeah.
Hormones
It's not-
come into
yeah,
play. Like,
hormones,
shut the
yeah,
fuck up.
age, there's all
If you're
sorts of
not
things
like,
that
I
come
don't
into
know.
play.
I have male trainers. I love them, but they don't ever tell me how my body is supposed to function because I'm sorry, you're not in my body.
Yeah.
But that's another.
Yeah. And everybody's different.
Exactly.
Is he getting a lot of views on this? Like, are they following
I hope
him?
he's getting hate on it.
Like,
it doesn't
that's
sound
what
like he is.
I want to know. Like, is he getting hate from this, or is
Probably not.
Is she getting hate and he's like living it up over there, just being like, yeah, dude, you're right, they're fatties, blah blah blah.
I mean, honestly, I've tried my best to like not be on this gross man's page, but basically that woman,
'cause
Juicy
in your
Body Goddess,
algorithm-
she just commented, please take my video, down.
But did he take it down?
No, it's still there, and it's literally just a pep talk of like one of the stylists at her shop talking to a young girl, and people are just not happy that she's, but a lot of people in the comments, they go, you don't have permission to use the video, delete it, you have the audacity to be, negative and rude. Since when did bullying a child become content worthy? What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
wow.
Grown men shaming women and children, she's a child, blah, 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 blah.
The fact, you know what? I get it because everyone has an opinion, even though I don't think, I mean, we have opinions on here all the time. But like, to me, I'm just like, she's a kid. Like, leave her alone. Leave them alone.
Me reporting the video. Problem involving someone under 18. Seems like sexual exploitation.
Oh.
I'm doing that because I like to do the most severe ones I can. Sometimes if I see a post I don't like on someone, I will find the most,
Yeah.
like, this is sexual with an animal.
Yeah.
Like, I will report it to the weirdest thing just so that it seems so severe so that it goes to the top. I don't know how it works, but
I mean, I don't know how it works either. Obviously,
But I wanna
it's not
report
working
it.
in their favor because
Let's see.
he still was able to post a minor.
Restrict.
So
skank.
she's
Anyways.
like on a roll over here.
I am. Ew.
Let's move to something. Oh, wait a minute, is that the guy?
I don't know who this or what this is.
See, I'm not into that, by the way.
Ooh. Anyways,
No, I'm not into it.
so
Let's move into something more positive. We need something like heartwarming.
Do we have something positive and
We
heartwarming
have
to talk about
something
today?
from the Say Yes to the Dress thing.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's
yes.
talk about Randy and Say Yes to the Dress and the girl with, I can never pronounce what is it called?
Trichotillomania.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay. So I
Fill us
spent
in, Gia.
Yeah, so I spent a whole evening literally just like blindly scrolling through Say Yes to the Dress clips because why am I going to sit down and watch a whole episode?
Did you find Cassidy's?
No, I didn't. Not
I
yet.
love it. It's like the rhinestone truck driver or something. I can't remember.
I'm
what it
dying.
is.
We should react
Trucker.
to it.
I've seen it. I saw it.
Wait, why'd they call it that?
Because the other girl that was on there, I guess, was like the main, and then that's the one that they
Oh,
like
I
named
thought
it
they were
after
calling
her.
Cassidy a truck driver.
I feel like Cassidy, like,
I'm depleting.
I feel like she could be a good truck driver.
I thought they were talking about her like mouth. Like, did they have to bleep her out a bunch of times?
Probably.
And they called her a trucker.
It was something weird. You have to ask her. Now I
so
feel
funny.
like whatever.
All right, we'll have to watch it.
We'll have to get her on the horn and ask her.
We'll get her on the horn. As she's like vomiting and
Can
dying
anyone
right
tell
now.
me why they say that, by the way?
What?
Get them on the horn? Is it from the old,
I think so.
when they had to like pick up the thing and be like, ding, 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 hello?
I wish I had a phone like that. I think so.
My grandmother used to
Gia
have
doesn't
that.
need a phone like that. We'd be sitting in the back, and she'd be like, ring, 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 pick up, lassies.
She'd be like cranking it up.
So I was
Be like,
watching.
hello, this is a call from Gia from a friend.
Fuck the intercom system.
Paging Corinne.
Shut up.
That's good.
I'm gonna pee.
Don't pee. So
Continue.
I watched this clip of Say Yes to the Dress, and it was this girl. She's bald, so she has trichotillomania, like we said earlier. And it's basically just like you can't stop yourself from pulling your hair out. So a lot of people, they lose like patches of hair, and it won't grow back because when you really, I guess, are pulling it,
Like
in the
they're
follicle,
really,
this
yeah.
and that.
Okay.
So she's bald. She rocks the bald. Homegirl looks so
She's
good.
beautiful. The girl's absolutely beautiful.
And honestly, I feel like when you're bald, it gives you so much more room to do crazy, gorgeous makeup. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I love a bald woman. I really do. Anyways, so she pulls up and she goes, I'm just feeling really nervous about looking beautiful in a gown because I can't wear a veil. And she goes, Randy, you always said you're just a girl in a white dress if you don't have a veil.
Aw.
And then Randy, literally this man crumbles. He goes,
Yeah, because it's,
Yeah, he's like, I
never thought of
didn't want to offend anyone. He's like, it's, you know, and us, obviously, at a bridal boutique, we're like, you know what I mean? Go get a veil, you might as well.
The veil was, we always say it's like very bridal when you have the veil.
Yeah, exactly, because that's just the typical tradition. But I think there's so many adaptive ways to wear a veil or a hairpiece or something without any hair. Yeah. So what he ended up doing was fun fact, so she actually got a really gorgeous Essence of Australia, one of my favorite gowns. It's like a little sweetheart, little plunge, satin fitted, fit and flare with the little side straps.
Nice.
She looked so good in it. But so it went over. So it was like the blusher in the front and then it like flowed into the back.
Oh yeah. That's pretty.
And she just started crying. It was so gorgeous. And he was like, I'm so happy like you have this moment. But also like get a headband veil too.
The veil
is so much.
Or you know what? A lot of girls now though, if they're not doing veils, they're doing those like long like capes off the shoulders, which I have to say I love it.
I was gonna do a
really
cape.
pretty.
Remember, I was gonna do the cape with the Montgomery, but my hair was gonna be covering the whole thing.
Clark cape myself.
Yeah. So I feel like there's just a lot of adaptive ways.
Yeah, there's so many different things.
Feel like a beautiful bride, even if maybe you don't have the like features or ways to do the typical traditional bride route.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're in 2024, baby.
Like, find your own way a little bit.
I love that she still had that crying moment because I have to say, as a stylist, that is when you get the tears, is when you put the veil on, because it makes it so real for them, and especially for her to like have that moment like, this is possible for me. That like is so heartwarming.
Especially because she was like kind of went in being like, am I gonna have this moment because Randy said you're not a bride without the veil type of thing.
Exactly.
So
it was also really sweet to kind of see him like be like, oh my gosh, like I guess take that accountability and be like, girl,
we got you.
I got you, I'm gonna fix it. And it was just really nice. So I don't know, I feel like it also kind of, I know we've been chatting a lot. I feel like us girls, just like random things as we go throughout our day through the shop. But I feel like it kind of like puts things in, you know, perspective of things, you know, like you really kind of, you'll bug out like, oh my gosh, I can't get this veil or this or that. There's so many things you can do and it's not going to be your end all be all, but it may seem like that in that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up perspective because I have this, I guess, situation I deal with every day with my husband who works in the medical field. He comes home and he's like telling me about his night or his day at work, and it's always like, oh, my patient died, I had to tell their family that, you know, it's not going to look good for them or whatever. And then he goes through this whole story about how hard his job was, and then he's like, well, how was your day? And I'm like,
You're like, oh God.
I'm like, well,
you're like, well, I lost a belt. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, my bride had a mental breakdown because a belt didn't come in. So it's hard because for me, I feel like I can't even share what goes on in my day because it doesn't amount to the crap that he's dealing with at his shift at night or whatever it is. So I think perspective is so important for us to have, like, even as you're a bride planning for your wedding. Try and take deep breaths and not let like the little things. Oh my gosh, the little things are so.
I see
they seem so big.
Flip out over the smallest little things, and when you think about it, like, and I think we've kind of like touched on this prior, like in the grand scheme of things, those little things you will never remember.
Oh my God, you know how many things that I like literally had mental breakdowns about, and then I look back now and I'm like, why was I such a bitch to my mom for that? Like, why was I like that? And like, I think it's important for us to note that if you are a bride planning your wedding currently and you have these little moments of like I get it, it's your wedding day. It's super stressful. Like it's the one day we plan for our entire lives. At least I did. Most people do. And then it's like when things don't go right, like the world seems like it's falling down.
Yeah.
And even like with stuff like with my car, like that to me, something I'll look back on probably in 10 years and be like, remember when my car got hit twice in 1 month and I wasn't even in it? Like
twice in a week.
Twice, yeah, basically. But like really what my perspective should be, I really need to shift like the focus on it because in reality, I wasn't in the car. I never was injured. No one got injured. So it's just like a little hiccup. And I think if we can start seeing our wedding day as like, okay, what's the big picture? I'm marrying the person I love. I'm starting a life with someone I love, you know.
I think some of these girls do go over the top though. Like I'm not trying to say that to like beat down any brides, but some of these girls I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm like, for my wedding, I kind of just like went with the flow. I don't think there was anything that like really, I mean, Gianna's cell phone, we had just bought her the brand new cell phone. It got stolen the day of my wedding from someone that worked at the venue or for one of the vendors or whatever it was. And I'm just like, what are you going to do? Like, I was like, Gianna, like everybody was like, oh my God, we'll do fun on our phone. I was like, this is not going to be what my wedding is about. Like, Gianna will buy you a new phone. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Like, even Paul was like, this is like, who cares? Like, it's like, it's the wedding day.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
It was insane. Like, legitimately. And then it's funny because the next day, obviously, like, Paul was like looking and it was like traveling the phone and then it just shut off. So they must have like reset it at a certain time. And but like, it's just like, you can't let like all of those like little things like take away from the real reason, like why you're getting married, that it's your wedding day, the love that you have for each other, you're with your family and friends. Like little things like my earring broke or stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I'm just like, why sweat this tiny stuff?
But then sometimes I think too, like, when you get engaged, the next year or two is you basically make planning your wedding like essentially a second full-time job. If you know what I mean.
It's your whole life.
Yeah, it was my whole life. Yeah.
I planned everything. Like every waking moment I was thinking about my wedding. So I do understand how like when something doesn't go the way you planned, your life kind of starts to crumble. It sounds so dramatic.
I feel like that's probably what it is.
I'm like the opposite of that. Like I definitely did not make the wedding my whole life. It was kind of like, and it's not to like knock anyone that does, no. By any stretch of the imagination. But I was just like, I just wanted to like have that moment. Yeah. Like it was important. Well, first of all, me and Paul were together for a long time. It's not like we were together for 20 years. Like, right. And so to me, I could have easily went into that, like, I've been waiting for this forever, but I wasn't waiting for I wanted the wedding to be beautiful, but I wasn't waiting for the things that went into the wedding. I was waiting to marry him.
And that's the best way to go about it.
Right, and have my family there. I didn't care. I mean, of course I cared about flowers and DJs and music and stuff like that. But like those things, like I felt like we experienced together and we had a lot of fun doing them. But I didn't make it my world. Like I worked, he worked. Like I was just like, we're planning a wedding. Like, I don't know. Like I get it. But I'm just like, I just don't feel like it should consume your life. Like where you're like, I know you have said like after the wedding you were like, oh my God, like I didn't know what to do with myself. After my wedding I was like, cool.
No, like, that is literally, that's how I felt. I was like, what the fuck am I
did not have that. I was just like, this is amazing. I don't have to, like, it's over. And I kind of just like rolled back into like normal. But then again, I did work until, remember we talked about this too. I worked the day of my engagement party, my rehearsal dinner. And everyone was like, why are you working? And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. Like, I didn't take that time to, like, do things. Like, you prepped a lot for yours and stuff like that. I didn't take that time to do that stuff. But I don't know. Like, I just was like, whatever.
Do you know how many fights I got into with family and friends about this wedding?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And, like, I know, like, when you're in it, we were
there.
When you're in it, it's such tunnel vision, and it's like, this is my day, and nothing's going to ruin my day. And then now that I'm out of it, as like a, what do you call that? An alum.
Oh my God. A bridal alum.
Yeah. Now it's like I graduated, and now I'm like, I look back, and I'm like, wow, why did I waste my breath fighting with these people?
Yeah, because it doesn't
doesn't
matter.
Anything. No, and I don't even remember half the shit.
Yeah.
Like, I
don't.
And,
like, honestly, like, if you look back, like, let's just hypothetically say, for the sake of this conversation, like, you got into something with someone from your wedding, like, right? And now you don't talk. You did have something.
Yes.
Yeah. So now it's like, I mean, that may have been a blessing in disguise, but
no, it definitely was. That, like, we definitely.
What
saw
if that
true
wasn't?
colors.
Like, what if it was somebody else and they're fighting over like a stupid like table thing? Like what table I'm sitting at, which by the way, I feel like you should literally have no say. The bride and groom sit you wherever the hell they want.
Yeah.
And that is it. Like, why are you telling people where you need to sit? Like, just sit at the table.
My family's not talking to a part of my family now. And
which is
that's
crazy.
It's not solely because of the wedding, but the wedding was definitely like, we have to sit down and have this hard conversation now.
It was like the nail in the coffin.
Yes, it was the nail in the coffin. And if it weren't for the wedding, we would just be pretending still that everything was fine.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I'm talking about.
So like, really, you're welcome.
But it's like, it also
caused... I said, oh no, that was the other thing.
It also
you had a lot of shit surrounding your wedding. A little shit star. We should have put that in the beginning.
Were there a lot of like weddings in your family though? Or have you been kind of like the first big wedding
I
of
was
the
the first
family
big
since
wedding.
like parents and everything back then?
I mean, my cousin got married, but that was more like a small wedding. This was
Yeah.
like a...
Yours was an event.
This was a wedding. You know, people didn't come to my wedding because the invitation said it was a formal
I believe
attire.
it. I
They were
believe it.
like,
Because
I'm not going out and buying a gown.
Yeah, people feel
You don't
obligated.
feel like you're going to the Oscars, baby?
That's what I said.
I
I was
feel
like, I'm
if
your
you-
fashion girl.
When are you ever getting dressed up? That's
Yeah.
my
Exactly.
thing. Like, I was like,
That
I
was
want
my
my
thing.
wedding to be black tie. I was like, I want people to get dressed up for my wedding. I want people to wear gowns. I told everyone,
That's
I was
what
like,
I
wear
said.
long gowns. Like, when do you do that?
When do you get to do that? When do you get to put time in for yourself?
But some
to feel
people don't
good?
want to do that, and that's okay, don't come.
And it was family though, and now Justin's family is not talking to that side because they didn't make the effort to come to the wedding or even say anything about coming. Like, because if they were like, oh well, we don't really have the money to go out and buy like these gorgeous gowns, but I did say on the invitation it's optional.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like-
you didn't make it mandatory.
No,
Mine
I
wasn't
was
mandatory
like-
either. I said, but I was telling everyone.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
your wedding
dress
was like
up.
double the size of mine.
Was it
How many people did you have?
275?
I had like 120.
No, 175.
I had
meant
400 at my
175.
wedding.
Jesus Christ, we invited like
The
that.
murder mystery?
I'll let you know how many are there when it happens.
I better be invited, I swear to
You'll
God.
be invited.
If we
Everyone's
don't even
invited.
talk anymore, I better receive a freaking
No, you'll get an
invitation.
invite.
Yeah.
You'll
no,
get an
I'll
invite.
fucking be there. I'll fucking be there.
We're coming
you'll
with
find out.
bells on and knives in our pockets.
Yes.
I did also want to. Do you think it's something that we can talk about now? It's been a while ago. But, okay, can I just say,
Yeah, say it.
if you have to cut it out, cut it out. But right before my wedding, I had a wake-up call.
Oh,
Because
yes, we can. I feel like we can talk
one
about that.
of our brides came into us visibly upset. And our, it was like, can I even say that? Like
There was a seamstress issue.
our seamstress at the time thought that it was about her and her work.
Right.
She got really upset about it.
Wait.
Oh.
Okay, hold on a second. Back up for a second.
Okay.
The bride had come into the store, just to give like a little. The bride had
Paint
come
the
into the
picture.
store. She picked a specific dress, and the seamstress said, I can't do this work that this girl wanted. It could be done. She just did not want to tackle it. I don't know if she wasn't comfortable doing the work. So that's where the shit started, basically.
Yeah, but she was very visibly upset to begin with.
Yeah.
And it was something that
There
the
was something
seamstress
up
said
with the
to
bride.
us, and she was like, I don't want to do this because she doesn't look happy with me to begin with already. It's just not going to be a good situation. But
it
the
had nothing to do
family
with her.
pulled me and Corinne aside,
Yeah.
and she said, listen, I know she doesn't look happy. She was just crying in the car. It has nothing to do with you guys, has nothing to do with her wedding, but she is feeling such immense guilt right now because she's about to have her bridal shower. Meanwhile, her best friend and maid of honor is not, she was engaged. At her bridal shower, her fiance was coming to pick her up and he got into an accident and died. Okay?
Yeah.
She took my breath away.
Yeah, and this was right around the time that Leah was freaking
This
out
was
about hurricanes
a month
and
before
family
my
and
wedding.
like
I
all
literally
sorts
have
of.
such bad goosebumps talking
Yeah.
about this because it just like
There was
I
a lot
remember
going on.
leaving that conversation, and I immediately text Justin and I was like, "I'm just so happy I get to marry you."
Mm-hmm.
Like it really snapped me back to reality. It was like, okay, like it's not about like hiring security for your wedding. It's not about who's sitting at what table. It's literally about the fact that like I'm marrying the person I love. I found my person and I'm marrying him. Like,
Right.
and that's it. And right before that, I was like panicking about everything.
Yeah.
I was crying to Corinne like every day. Like, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about
I literally looked at her and I was like, perspective.
You're
Yes.
like, just,
Yeah.
And
just do
I
it.
I was like,
actually-
see, none of this shit.
And I
And she
actually
was like,
text
wow.
Justin and I was like, I have to apologize for like if I was being a bridezilla because it is such tunnel vision, which is why I get it that some of us, it's hard to pull ourselves out of that and snap back to reality. But that bride was a blessing to me because
Yeah.
I literally was in tears. I was crying in the break room. Like I was like, I cannot let myself get so overworked about so many little things because some people don't even get to have this. And we're so blessed that we're able to have this. Oh God. That was intense.
Yeah, it was crazy. Wasn't that after the girl had made me cry?
Yes.
It was like
It was
right.
a couple
It was a
months.
couple, like 2 or 3 months
Yes.
after that or something.
Yes.
Why were you
Or like
crying?
right around
Can you
that
talk
time.
about that?
Yeah, because wasn't her
don't
wedding
remember
right
this.
before? It was
Yes.
right around the same girl's time. There was an issue with a dress that come in, and honestly, I've only gotten emotional 2 times in the store. I don't know if you've ever spoken about this. Twice, where I've actually had to literally walk away from the bride or the family and went into my office and sobbed like a baby because I was like, wow, like I couldn't even believe like what was happening. And I can actually say the 2 times. So the one time was this girl. Her dress had come in. They made her dress like a corset instead of a zipper or something, I think it was. And it was like 4 months before the wedding or 3 months before the wedding. And I was like, oh my God, you know, we apologize. We're going to call and we're going to get this fixed, blah, blah, blah. And they did make a mistake and we were able to get the dress. And the dress came in 2 months before her wedding. So when she came here, she was out on the platforms and she was, even though her dress had come in, it was perfect. It fit her like a glove and everything. We still had plenty of time. We didn't even get into her alterations appointment at that point. She turned around and said that basically I had ruined her wedding and it was the worst experience she had ever had. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember.
And
It's very vivid
and I
to
said,
me.
you know, well, first she went into, I'm really not happy, blah, blah. And I said, you know, I'm very sorry. Some things are out of our control. You know, we kind of went into that route and I can feel myself like, but I was like, listen, this happens. Like there are things that are out of our control and
Yeah.
of course we feel bad. Like we don't want these things to
But
happen.
you fixed it. You got another
But we were
dress
able
with
to do it
plenty of
and
time.
plenty of time. And then she turned around and she said to me, you ruined my wedding. And, that
Yeah.
it was basically the worst experience of her life. And I said, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. And I literally was like, I basically excused myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just left. And I literally walked away from her and went into the back and closed my door. And I was like, that's like the worst feeling in the world. Because I'm like, obviously you don't understand what the wedding's about. And at that time, it's not like I was gonna look at her and be like, perspective girl, you know what I mean? But like in that moment, all I could think about was like, shit, I really did everything in my power to, because honestly, they can snooze, the designers. They could be like, yeah, whatever, we'll get to it and we'll try to get it before her wedding, but we can't make any promises. But we were up their asses
For a long time.
every day. Did you have, and we've done this for other girls too, things that have gotten into customs, things that have come in wrong color.
call
Like
them
we are
every
literally
day.
up their buttholes. Like it's
Yeah.
just horrible. And
I'll
for
never
her to turn
forget.
around and say that, I get that her emotions were high, but I was just like, wow, like you literally sucked out the whole reason that I do all of this. In like one
Yeah.
sentence, she sucked out
yeah.
everything. And I was like, and the fact that she also worked for a small business actually made me think, how would you like it if I came into your place of business and did this? So it really just honestly like rocked my world.
The way she just turned and looked at you and was like, this is
Like,
all I
dead
could.
eye.
She goes, this is all I could have thought about for the last couple months, and you ruined you. Like
Yeah.
when I look back on my wedding, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna remember what a horrible
Yeah,
experience.
like
this
that I
was.
ruined her whole wedding. And I was like, all right,
Meanwhile,
well.
it's
But
not
then
the
I felt
friend's
bad
fault.
for her after because like I said, I was like, you just don't get it. Like
don't
you
get-
really
yeah.
just don't understand
Yeah.
what any of it's about, and that's okay. I actually don't blame you for that. You know, she can say whatever she wants. It actually, in the beginning when I opened, when things used to go on, I used to take things like really personally, and I try not to do that, but that does happen. The only other time I cried in the store, there was 2 aunts that came in. This was such a long time ago. I don't even think you guys. I don't think you
don't know if I
definitely
know
did not
this
work here. I don't
story.
think you worked here either. 2 aunts came into the store, and it was when we first moved here, and the bride was in alterations, and the aunts were being, it was like, you need to stay here because we need to close the curtain, like, you know, it's a very small space, and the aunts were being very pushy, very pushy, very pushy. I have to be back there, and we were like, there's literally no space.
Yeah.
And at this time we used to have stuff outside the door, like it wasn't like an empty, there was like a bench, and we used to have like things on it, so there was really no place to like really be. And the one aunt kept pushing, and she got right into my face, and she started screaming at me, telling me that her mother, the bride's mom, had passed away. She was like really like in my face about it, that her mom passed away, and I need to be in there with her, and you don't understand what it's like, and I, you know, this is my niece, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, I looked at her and I was like, actually, I do know what it's like. I raised my 2 nieces. Their mother passed away,
Yeah.
and these little girls live with me. And you're talking about a grown 30-year-old woman that you need to be in the alterations. Like, I need to be home with my kids. I was
Yeah.
so, like, literally lost like the tears that welled up in my eyes. And Nancy had only passed away maybe like a year, because we had just moved here, so maybe like a year and a half prior to that. So it was really very fresh in my, or the girls had just come to live with us. The timeline's so fuzzy now, but I was so like, are you kidding me? Like, I was like, you don't know what anybody goes through, and you're getting in my face because you need to go back there to make sure that her buttons are right. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing.
And like, just to preface too, it's not like they don't get to go back there at a certain
They do.
point. They go back at the end after the seamstress is done, so they're not up her ass and like waste. It wastes time when they're like, oh, but you need to do this. You're telling the seamstress how to do her job, and it's just not going to come out right. So that's why. There's a reason behind why they stay up here, but they do still get to see the dress.
100%. We always let them go back. They sit there back there. We bring them out, look at the brides, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not something, we're not trying to hide the bride. We're trying to, everything needs to be done in a timely manner. And we need for you to sit down so that the seamstress can do her job properly.
She needs to be focused.
Don't forget too, you go back there and you start talking. Think about when you're, like, if someone comes in my office, like, let's say you, Gia, you're the perfect example.
I knew I was going to be the example.
I'm working, and Gia will come in my office, and I love you, Gia, and I'm good at multitasking, so I can do it. Leah cannot.
That's why Leah tunes me
out.
So Gia will come in, she'll start talking to me, blah, 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 blah. You know, she's going, and I'm like, okay. Then she leaves, and I'm like, shit, I missed or I didn't put a PO in, or so I missed a step of what I'm doing.
Yes.
And then you're going to come back. This is what happens in the back, is you're on top of the seamstress. Then you're going to come back to us and be like, she didn't do this, bustle right, blah, blah. Well, you didn't shut up the whole time. You were up her ass. You were telling her how to do her job. Yeah. And if you're a seamstress, then maybe you should just do the wedding dress. I'm sorry about like I'm ranting, but it makes me very upset because they are trying to do a job back there.
Yeah, it's very valid. And again, it comes down to the whole perspective thing. Like, you know, we're dealing with, this is your wedding day. It's the most important day of your life, but no one died, or at least I hope no one died. Like, and
God forbid.
Yeah, like it's just like,
it's not. Yeah, I mean, we're saying it like that, but like we're just saying, like, you know, just realize that it's about the wedding. It's about the love that you have for each other, and you're getting married, and your family and friends are going to be there, and your dress is going to be beautiful, and these other little things don't matter.
No matter what happens, you're going to get married, and it's going to be a perfect day. Right. And everyone's there to support you.
And I think when you're in those moments of getting like frustrated at the very small details, the reason you're getting frustrated is because you're planning so hard every day. You're spending a lot of money on the wedding.
Of course.
And then when small things don't go... When small things don't go right, you're like, I had this planned, I spent all this money on this, and you get frustrated, but then you have to like, again, like pull yourself back into perspective. You can be upset about those things. You can have a little momentary freak out, but the thing is,
just take a deep breath.
Not, you know, it is so frustrating to have things not go exactly as planned. That's what really throws you into a tizzy. But once you kind of recognize the fact,
reel it in.
Once you recognize the fact of why you're so upset, go, okay, this is why, but this is what we're working towards, and we're gonna get there.
And I'm really glad you brought up the whole price of things, because that is the most stressful part, I think, and that's what honestly sits with you the most, is like, okay, well, I spent $5,000 on this one thing that's not going right, or it's not perfect. And that is when it really starts to mess with you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what am I wasting all this money for? And that's when the bridezilla, I feel like, comes out. But it's just like, take a deep breath, because it's all going to work out.
It's all going to work out. And can I just say, it's okay to apologize. So if you know you were a bridezilla and you're like, you want to go, I think if you did do something like that, it's okay to go to the person and be like, listen, I was stressed out. I know, you know, maybe in the moment I said things that I didn't want to say, but I do apologize, and I'm sorry, and I don't normally treat you like that. And you know what? And I think the other person, that whoever was on the other end of your freak out stress situation, I think will really appreciate that.
And I think, honestly, I feel like that kind of wraps up all the topics that like we've talked about today, because with the, you know, what we talked about, you know, flashback to the beginning about giving compliments to people. It feels so good to give someone a compliment.
It does.
Like, sometimes we feel a little like weird, like just going up to someone and be like, I like your shoes. Like, it feels weird, you know? But then once you bust through, you feel great for complimenting someone, and then they feel great. And say you know you were a dick to someone. You know, once you apologize,
like, don't be a dick.
It feels so uncomfortable to think about apologizing, but once you do it, you're gonna feel relief. That guilt is gonna go, because I'm sure you feel a little guilty, because if you take that moment, put it into perspective, you go, ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, I was a bridezilla.
Right.
And then you apologize, and then
think
you're
people
kind of,
appreciate it.
you're cool again.
Definitely.
You know, even when we have brides, they're like, I'm so sorry I've made you, you know, pull 30 dresses for me and put me back and forth.
I'm like, don't
girl,
apologize.
You're
we-
fine.
Yeah, all the time. Like
You
the girls that
know?
come up front and they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry if I was a pain or whatever. And I'm
Please.
like,
Oh my gosh.
really? We have so many girls in here. Believe
Yeah.
me, you
I mean,
definitely were
please.
not a pain.
I love doing this, so please don't apologize for having me pull dresses and help you find the dress. Like they
Yeah,
apologize, and
that's
then
our job.
sometimes I'm like, let's put your favorites back on. And she's like, I don't want to do that. Like I know I already wasted so much of your time. I'm like, wasted my time. Like this is what I do.
This is what you
This
get
is-
paid for.
This
Yeah,
is
you're
my
like, I don't want to
job.
waste yours.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apologize. People appreciate it, like
Yeah.
for little things like that. But like for normal things, like trying on your dresses, do not apologize for that because you're supposed to find
Yeah.
the dress of your dreams, and that is
Yeah.
why you come to stores like ours or like, other
Or
stores.
Juicy
Shout
Body
out to like
Goddess.
North Fork Bridal or something like that. Like we're here for the experience. We're here for you. Personal styling is our. That's our jam.
Yeah.
All right, so thick and tired, ladies.
Sick and tired. Who wants
Yeah.
to start?
I can start.
Leah.
Oh God, this
So
better
my
be good.
pick this week is that Corinne is my personal chauffeur.
No rental car this week.
tired.
No. No, I don't have a rental car this phase yet. I might be getting one depending on how long this thing is going to take. They
Joke's
don't
on me
know.
because I thought it was just today. Anyway.
Come on, it's so much fun. We get to chit chat. I bring
do.
the party.
We have good conversations.
Yeah,
Maybe next time she'll bring her cat along for the ride.
I have.
In the
Don't
backpack?
tempt me because I have.
Her cat's been in my car.
Alfalfa has
Alfalfa.
them. She's driven me to the vet
Yeah.
with Alfalfa before. Yeah, when I was like panicking about his ear infections, but whatever. Okay, so that's my
Wow, I
pick.
really am a good friend to you.
You really are the best friend.
You're like,
Yeah, seriously. I can't even like
I'm
I
just
could go
messing
through a
with her.
whole list of like everything that Corinne has just dropped for me. Yeah, so that's my pick is that now I get to we get to carpool.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And she gets to go in class.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my god, not my Honda Civic. Driving an Escalade.
luxury.
I get back massages while I'm in the car too.
She does. She's like, I'm putting the back massager on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seat warmers, seat coolers. Like
Yeah.
it's the
little
best.
air conditioned tushy. Never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But you're tired.
My tired is that I don't know what's going on with my body and my hormones, but I am just like breaking out. I just don't, when you don't feel like yourself. I've been feeling that, even though I've been like, on this whole like journey. Everyone kind of knows I've been doing the 75 soft, but I don't know. It's just been like, it's been tough. My face has been breaking out, and I really think it's my birth control, and that's something I've been trying to decide, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to come off birth control? My game plan has always been, I'm not going to come off it until we have a house and we're settled, because we're in an apartment, but I just don't know how much longer I can go with this whole birth control situation. I think
Yeah.
it's just 13 years was too long.
Yeah.
My body is like all out of
Well,
whack.
maybe someone out there can shed a little light on that. I'm
Yeah,
sure
if
people
you-
are.
If you have done something else, I've been looking into the Aura ring. Have you guys heard about that?
Is that the ring you just like shove up there?
No.
Oh.
No, it's a ring for your finger.
Wrong ring.
Oh.
It's a ring for your finger. It takes your
Oh.
temperature, and
Yes,
you have
yes.
an
My
app.
friend has one. Yeah.
And like the app will tell you like if you're fertile or not fertile.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's safe.
That is so you. You need one. I say go get
I
one
don't
right
know.
now.
It's like $500,
It
and you pay a
is.
monthly
Jeez.
fee.
Well,
and I'm like,
Maybe somebody knows if anyone's heard about the Aura ring.
Yeah.
Does
Does
anyone have a discount code for the Aura ring?
I know if you use, yeah, I know
Curious.
actually if you use like, it's called Natural Cycles, you can get like a discount, but it's still very expensive. So I'm like, is that something that's even going to be worthwhile for me? Like, is it going to work? Go ahead.
Get a the temperature thing.
So Justin was like, I can take your temperature every day for free. And I was like, of
Oh.
course you can. But I want like a ring. I don't want to like, I don't know. I want, it checks more,
There's,
I
like, a
think, than
science
just your
to it.
Can my
temperature.
Aura ring have diamonds on it, please?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's
does, it
also
does
why it's
everything. It's like an Apple
$500
Watch.
is I want the expensive one. I want the gold one. I'm not wearing a black ring.
no.
Come on.
No.
What am I, a man?
Please.
We're ending
She
this
ain't
right
Leo.
this second.
So that's my
We're ending
tired.
this.
If you have any advice for me with like these breakouts and hormonal changes, I don't know, I'll take it. But I'm not doing anything that's like long term because I don't see myself being on
Yeah.
birth control for much longer. So
Wow.
go on.
Oh, my thick and tired? Well, my thick is that I'm going to Florida on Friday. So when you hear this episode, we will be basically recording an episode of me recapping my Floridian trip to go see Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla. So I'm very excited for that. I'm a little nervous.
She's been looking for her hoochie clothes.
I know. Well, then I had a crazy thought
else?
about the top.
Oh, God. Just go
Whatever. That's my Thicc. My tired. I almost feel like, should I make it? I don't know. Birth control related?
Yeah, do it.
My uterus has felt like there are shards of glass being stabbed through it all of yesterday.
You need
Just
to go to the
one
doctor.
day?
I'm fine.
I wonder if you have like cysts or something.
You know what? I have no idea. I think technically, so like I have an IUD. That was the worst experience of my whole entire life. But honestly,
Wait,
I'll man
that's
up
the
and do it again.
funniest story ever, by the way.
Yeah, that was literally the worst thing ever. As an abridged version, I was getting an IUD. Trigger warning, medical scariness. So they put it in, then they go to, I guess there's a little wire on it so they can pull it out eventually. But they pulled it out.
She passed out.
So they pull it out, and then they go, all right, we got to go find another one. So I'm laying there with the speculum in me. I'm cracked open for actually 5 minutes as they're trying to find another IUD because they have to order one for you. And whatever, 5 minutes later, they find it, and then you're in the ultrasound room and you watch it go in on the ultrasound. Mm-hmm. And then as they're putting it in, I go, I'm just going to close my eyes. And then I wake up what feels like 100 hours later, and I go, ah, did I just pass out? And then I say to the nurse, I go, that was kind of funny though, wasn't it?
Her legs were in the air. I'm acting like I was there, but I've genuinely listened to this story, and Gia, when she told this story, was laying on this couch up front with her legs in the air, and she demonstrated exactly how it happened. I was
Please don't do that now for the audience.
I was pissing myself laughing, but it was also a very scary story, but
terrifying.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would do it again. Whatever. I'm a woman.
No, that's terrifying.
I'm a strong woman. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really get my period anymore because my IUD, it just kind of like, I don't know, plugs everything up and
yeah,
stops
it's supposed
it.
to like,
It's
yeah.
nice.
So that's actually scary that if you have the IUD and you're feeling stabbing pains.
Well, then I looked it up, or whatever. But then I looked it up. Ooh, ew, ugh, ooh, that sound was terrible. Ooh, I didn't like that. I just scratched my nail against that. Anyways, so I don't get my period, but I'll get still like symptoms. So like my boobs will get sore, my uterus will hurt, and I was like, ugh, and I was in pain.
Oh, yeah, you were saying that you also don't get the period. So with birth control, I'm supposed to be like very regular, and I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
Like my period comes whenever. I always feel like I'm PMSing. Like I know something needs to change. Like something has to give. So.
Wow. All right.
What is that noise?
What is that?
You heard that, right?
Yeah, like
Maybe it's somebody upstairs walking.
Okay.
So I can feel
steps.
your pain and torture with that. It
Yeah,
sucks.
so that's weird and annoying.
But I'm excited
honestly,
for you to go to Florida.
I am.
that's
I
exciting.
will send you so many photos.
I can't wait to hear all those stories when you come back.
Oh, God.
I can only imagine.
That's
what
going to
I'm
need like
have to
8 podcasts full.
I'll make
episodes.
it abridged.
She'll have to write like notes on the side.
No, literally. I was like, should I vlog it?
Yeah, no.
We'll see. I
Maybe.
probably won't put it together.
Kurt's
Who
like,
knows?
no.
might be
Whatever happens
X-rated.
on this trip should not be
No,
for
probably
public
not.
consumption. Anyways, Corinne,
Oh, he's walking up and down the stairs.
Oh.
there's stairs up there?
What do you mean? The stairs right here.
Oh, that one?
All right, Corinne.
My thick and tired. So, well, my thick was going to Kohl's, even though I had the bad day. That lady really turned it around. But then my thick was really the fact that I found like really cute clothes at Kohl's, because
were cute.
honestly, I'm always like, ew, Kohl's. I'm not buying clothes. And I never
know.
find anything. They're kind of grandma and matronly, but I was able to like dig into the very small section that they had, and I found like some like cute stuff. So I was like kind of pleasantly surprised about that.
You know, we have a bride who works at Kohl's.
We do.
Yes.
Kohl's
I
Connect?
Snapchat her. I Snapchat my bride every day. We have a streak going.
That's hilarious.
So maybe we'll go and pay her a visit.
She works at this Kohl's?
No, we would have to drive kind of far. But we can like go to the beach while we're at it.
Oh,
it's
good
all the way
idea.
over there. You know what I'm talking about.
Ow.
Are we going North Shore?
South Shore.
Mm-hmm. All over there.
Yeah.
Out east?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
let's go to that. We'll all go to that Kohl's. We'll stop by and say hi to Kimberly.
Is it? What's up, Kimberly? Can we get a discount? Oh,
Shout
sorry.
out.
I don't need a discount, Kimberly. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on you.
No, but we just want your styling advice.
yeah. Go watch Corinne's Kohl's haul.
Yeah,
on her
go watch my
Instagram.
Kohl's haul. Give me
Corinne
some
underscore
love.
Michelle.
I'm really like, I try to put myself out there. People are like, make more videos, and then I make them, and I'm like, oh, thanks for the 17 likes. But anyway.
All right, what's your tired besides having to pick me up all the
So
time?
my tired was gonna be the freaking spider.
Oh God, I don't even know what is this spider thing.
It's all over Facebook and Instagram and
Again,
everything.
not on
really
Facebook
so much
or Instagram much.
I'm not looking for spiders.
So apparently there's this ridiculously large parachuting spider that's coming to New York this summer, and if I see this thing, I might have a heart attack.
Making his big debut.
Well, it's a good thing that you have the screened-in porch, so we don't have to worry about
What about when I'm walking outside to my car and this thing comes parachuting at my face?
Get an umbrella
And it has
hat.
its leg span is like 4 inches. Do you know how big that is? I mean, listen, we're not living in Australia with those what are those Australian spiders called? Anybody know?
I don't know.
Those ginormous spiders that you see in Australia that like sit in I would die. I would literally, you could not pay me enough money to go to Australia, by the way. But anyway, just because of that.
I would actually love to go to Australia.
And kangaroos because they punch you in the face, but that's besides the
Kangaroos
point.
scare the shit out of me.
They
Have you
also
seen
scare
those
me.
videos of like them with the dogs?
They're huge.
Oh my God,
They're huge and they're like
scary.
aggressive.
They're mad muscular.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not
They're
into
like
the spiders.
giant men.
I think it's weird. I don't know why they're here. Like, this is New York, for God's sakes. Like, we're not supposed to have like crazy bugs like that. Like, it's bad enough with the cicadas.
And the mosquitoes.
And the mosquitoes are, ugh,
Yeah.
They're like, even this year, I think they're so bad already.
they are
My
bad already.
feet have gotten like attacked. So now
Yeah.
my feet just look like little ogre toes.
We went in the pool that night and my freaking face.
Yes. Oh my God, it was hard to
I
like.
had mosquito
Yeah.
bites all over my eyebrows and you didn't
random.
have your bug pants on.
I know, I
and
didn't
it
have
was
my
like,
bug pants.
What a nightmare.
But the hot tub was great.
Hot tub was great.
Well, they
That's
don't
actually
go-
my
yeah, they
other
won't go by
thick
the hot
this
tub.
week. My other thick is the fact that we are so close, like a family here, that we just one night after work were like, let's go to Corinne's house
Yeah.
and party. We made dips.
Yeah.
Because we went to the farmer's
we
market.
acquired dips.
We acquired
We
dips.
acquired dips. It was delicious.
From what's the place? We should shout them out.
What is it? Long Island Dip Company?
Yes.
I wasn't even there.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
if you have
Oh.
not gone onto this girl's
So-
website, it's called, Long Island. It's
Long
LI
Island
Dip
Dip
Company.
Co. Yeah.
This lady, I don't know what what
was
is going
crack.
on in
It
her
was like
magical
crack.
kitchen. It was like dip crack.
Oh my
And they're
God.
So
like
the Philly
cream-
cheesesteak dip was insane.
Yes.
They're like pre-made dips. Like you don't have to like mix them up or
No,
anything.
so they
No.
come frozen.
Yep.
Oh, got
Jesus.
it.
Again with the.
I know.
They come frozen. Totally off topic. Come frozen. You can get them in like small, medium, large. I don't even know. They were like we got them at the
farmers
Sayville
market in
Farmers
Sayville.
Market on Saturday morning. The baked clam dip. I swear to you, I could live off of it. It's baked clam
Seriously.
crack.
Yeah.
like clam crack.
Never in my life. This lady, my
magician.
next party, I'm gonna be like, just please. I'm gonna spend like $400 on dip alone.
I know. It was insane.
Yeah,
So good.
The
she had
spinach and
so
artichoke one was
many.
good, but the Philly cheesesteak one
Out of
and the
this
baked
world.
clam dip
Out of this
were.
world.
I can't say enough.
Yeah. And then that was such a good night. We
That was so fun.
We shared dips. We were just like chilling,
Went in
relaxing.
the pool.
Yep.
We made
We made
s'mores. We were
s'mores in
roasting
my fire pit.
marshmallows. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
We have
And
to do that, like-
no glass was harmed in the fire pit.
Oh, that's
Remember,
right.
because
That's
Paul
right.
was like, "You're gonna get marshmallow all over the."
We were all very good.
And we were like, "No, we won't. We're adults here."
We're adults, except
Because-
for the baby.
Yeah, except for the baby.
Raquel.
Rocky,
Because
who we
Corinne
love.
has one of those fancy fireplaces with the glass
I have two of them.
beads. Oh, she's two of
Well,
them.
one is
sorry.
like built into the backyard
Got it.
on the side, but
Yeah.
the mosquitoes, so we couldn't
Oh,
sit
the
there. And then the
skeeters.
other one is under my porch.
Yeah.
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 It's like it's just a fire table.
A little fire table.
I just love that we're such a family that we could just pop over Corinne's house after
Yes.
work one
Yeah.
night.
Everyone's like great. Like it's like a good team.
It
Like I
is.
feel like we, like everybody here is like really like let's do things together, and it's
Yeah.
just like really
It's like
nice.
a
and
family.
we don't
We
like
like to have
fight
fun.
and argue and stuff, and it's just
What do
like
we have to
really
fight
sweet.
about?
Well, no, I
what I
listen.
think
I
about,
used to
too.
work for places where I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, that's what I always think. I'm like, what is your problem, people? Just have some
Yeah,
fun.
like,
And
give me a
literally, so
break.
like, they obviously were like over here in Sayville, and I was in Port Jeff, and they're like calling me. They're like, "What are you doing tonight? What are you up to? Like, got any plans?"
Are you coming by the pool? What's happening?
Literally.
And
I
then
was like,
Gia
oh.
lives in Stony Brook, so it's
Yeah.
not like she was. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Now people are gonna come stalk you.
Come stalk
I'll
me,
I'll beep it
everyone, if
out.
you're hot.
Yeah. But like you could have easily been like, no, I'm not coming all the way back to, I'll say it, Oakdale,
Stowborough.
because that's where I just blew up your
Okie
spot.
D.
Okie D.
But then they were like, "We have dips," and I said, "What am
That's
I
what got you
not
there.
gonna eat dips with them and go in a hot tub?"
Yeah.
Yeah, Gia and
Yeah.
I sat in that hot tub with Sid and Mia for a long time until literally I felt like a lobster that was being
Literally,
cooked.
Yeah.
us just trying to convince all of them to go to Oneonta
Yeah.
for college.
Yeah, because Gia and I went to Oneonta, so we're like, come to Oneonta. We'll take a trip. Let's do it.
take a
I'll relive my college years.
Oh, literally. So
God.
if anyone wants to come to Oneonta with us,
Oh, Jesus. That'll be fun.
All right, but I think that's
All
pretty
right,
much
that's
it for
it.
this week.
Yeah.
Huh?
woo!
It was a
all
good
right.
one. And on that note, We will see you next Tuesday.